With all of the changes that have taken place in the offseason between the 2023 football season and the 2024 college football season, I feel like that the helmet communication, the coaches being able to talk to one designated player on the field, just like the NFL coaches are able to, is one that is not talked about enough in college football. In 2024, head coaches will be able to, head coaches, play callers, whoever the designated coach is that can talk to that player, will have the opportunity to do so. Lane Kiffin of Ole Miss has made headlines recently calling this a quote unquote cheat code for offenses. Lane also said that this was a change that defenses wanted for a long time, being able to talk directly to a linebacker, to a safety, maybe whoever they want to be the field general that is going to bark out those signals and be able to have that direct line of communication with the coaches, feeling that it would help them to communicate faster and be able to be lined up better and make adjustments better for all of the different things that offenses are able to throw at you today in modern college football. However, Lane Kiffin feels like, at least based on his comments, that defenses need to be careful what they wish for, because now for 25 seconds, the first 25 seconds of the play clock, Lane Kiffin and offensive play callers can be in the ear of their quarterback and basically give them the answers to the test, so to speak. Hello, everyone. I'm Blayne Gilmer. Welcome into SEC Unfiltered, the best SEC entity on the internet, where we talk about all things SEC football related specifically, but we have basketball coverage coming your way, a little baseball coverage as well. But football is king here at SEC Unfiltered. And today we are going to be talking about Lane Kiffin, that Ole Miss offense in 2024, as if it wasn't already going to be formidable enough and already give opposing defenses enough challenges as is. But now you have a new toy in the bag there for Lane Kiffin to use at his disposal, and that is that helmet communication. Now, listen, we know that Ole Miss is a team that is capable of going very, very fast, as it already was. They were capable of, with the hand signals, with different things that they do, of just being able to go very, very quickly. There's several different ways of looking at this. One, this is Lane Kiffin here that we're talking about, and he was a head coach in the NFL. He is used to the helmet communication already. He's been able to use it. He's not a coach that has to kind of, all right, we'll see how this plays out and all this kind of stuff. He knows what this is. Of course, his dad, longtime NFL head coach as well. So he has perspective on both sides of the football, offense and defense, how this can benefit you. What are the pros? What are the cons? Things of that nature. And you can bet that if there is an advantage that is to be had, Lane Kiffin is going to be able to take advantage of that. And we're going to talk specifically about what those advantages are right after I tell you about this offer that we have from our friends at RHOBACK. If you haven't heard about RHOBACK before, it is time to check them out, guys. It's safe to say that we bet on RHOBACK every single day of the week, simply because we love their gear. We're pumped to be partnering with RHOBACK because it is simply the most comfortable gear that you can have. Okay, guys, whether it's the performance polos to the hoodies, the shorts, best fit, best feel, that is what RHOBACK is all about. And right here with the Masters coming up, with it being springtime, people getting ready to hit the golf course, RHOBACK has just released their Azalea collection, meaning it is the best time of the year to try out new designs and make sure that you have everything that you need in your collection. RHOBACK's performance polos are the most comfortable polos out there. They are moisture wicking and four-way stretch, making them perfect for game day and They give you that perfect, comfortable fit with a good, crisp collar that doesn't lose shape and get that bacon collar on you, all that kind of stuff. So they look good, they perform well, and it is exactly what you need. So go check them out now and use the promo code SECU on RHOBACK.com. That's RHOBACK.com. You can use the promo code SECU and get a generous 20% off on your first order through the end of this week. That's RHOBACK.com, 20% off using promo code SECU. All right, guys, now let's talk about the specific advantages that Lane Kiffin can have with this helmet communication. You talk about the varied tempos that Lane Kiffin and company are able to use. They can go so very fast, and they can probably go so fast that they don't even have to use hand signals to signal everybody a certain different route or different things like that. They probably have plays that are packaged together that just have one name or concept that means something different to everyone, is the reason they can go so fast. That's what Tennessee does. That's what a lot of teams do. They can say something that if it was a code word like, razor or gator or something along those lines, that everybody has a different responsibility and job inside of that play call. They know exactly what to do. However, now Lane Kiffin can be going boom, boom, boom. We go fast, those 3 plays. The defense is not able to react or change anything. You're not substituting, so they can't substitute. And then all of a sudden you get up to the line, very tempo, fake the snap count, and you're adjusting things, going motion, changing the formation, changing the play, and the whole time, because Jackson Dart can hear Lane Kiffin instead of having to look to the sideline to get the information, he can keep his eyes on what the safeties are doing the entire time. Lane Kiffin can relay information to him. Hey, here's what's going on the backside if he knows he's got to read on the front side. And until 15 seconds comes, he's able to help give him even more information than as an experienced quarterback he would already have. So that is a huge deal, in my opinion, and something I do believe that Lane Kiffin and company will take advantage of. Now, what could this do potentially in the RPO type game? Okay, now we know that RPO, the run pass option, a lot of that stuff is post snap. But guys, there are some things that are predicated pre-snap just based off the alignment of where guys are. Now, I know you can do simulated pressures and things like that, but if a defense shows their hand enough, if a defense just by alignment takes themselves out of something where they're not going to be able to get to it no matter what they do on their post-snap adjustments, then if you can see that from a play caller point of view, you can communicate something like that and let your quarterback know. Big deal right there as well, because you can see stuff. Coaches can see stuff from the sideline. Players can't see on the field at different times. So it is going to be interesting to see how this works out for teams. Now, there is another possibility with this. It is Lane Kiffin that we're talking about. For all we know, Lane Kiffin could absolutely hate this helmet communication system, and he is just saying this cheat code term and talking about how great it is for offenses and bad it is for defenses just to mess with people. I mean, that is an entire possibility for Lane Kiffin. However, given all those factors that we just talked about, I do believe that Lane really believes there is an advantage for the offense and that he is going to be able to utilize it and take advantage of the things. But we also have to talk about some other elements of this. Teams are going to have multiple plans as they go into their game day communication because, one, you have to be able to do this if your team is playing an FCS opponent. You can't do it because it has to be FBS opponents only, because the FCS schools most likely don't have the funds to be able to install the helmet communication. So that would be an unfair advantage in those games, as if there wasn't already an unfair advantage. So they're unable to use the system in those games. Secondly, when you are playing different teams and things like that, what environment are you playing in? Are you playing on the road? And Kalen DeBoer at Alabama has already said that at times when they've been testing it out, it has been too loud in Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, those quarterbacks over at Alabama's ears. The actual sound that has been coming out has been too loud, that it's been, I guess, really distorted. They weren't able to clearly hear what was being said to them. And you know what that's like. If you've ever had a walkie-talkie, or you've ever had something in your ears that you're listening to and I'll accidentally forget that you've turned the sound all the way up, it's so loud you can't clearly understand what's being said. Also, we don't know how this is going to affect quarterbacks when it is loud, it is on the road. Will they be able to hear all this kind of stuff? And remember, these are guys that are getting used to this for the first time. So I'm sure there's adjustments of that NFL quarterbacks have to go through, and we're going to see college teams have to adjust to it as well. But with the NFL background of Lane Kiffin, I think Ole Miss is uniquely prepared to be able to take this element of the changes in college football on top of them being uniquely prepared as they were for the transfer portal, uniquely prepared for NIL, uniquely prepared for a 12-team playoff format. I think Lane Kiffin has been ahead of the curve on every single change in college football. And you look at what he has done. Since he arrived there in 2020 at Ole Miss, there has not been an offense for the Ole Miss Rebels that has finished outside of the top 29 in scoring offense, top 29 in the country. And then most of those were inside of the top 20. Yeah, so these are offenses that can already light you up, that can already put up a ton of yards. And now you give just another weapon, another advantage to a guy like Lane Kiffin to find a way to use. I think this is going to be a big year with so much talent. You've already got, like I said, Jackson Dart coming back with so much experience. You get Trey Harris, who I think is going to be the Biletnikoff winner this year. I think he's that good. I think he's a stud out there on the outside at receiver for Ole Miss. Him coming back with Caden Prescorn coming back with Jordan Watkins, who's a glue guy, the chain mover that makes everything move, him coming back. Then you also add in Juice Wells. I mean, it is unfair with all the weapons that Jackson Dart is going to have to be able to distribute the ball to. And when it comes down to it, guys, Lane Kiffin is going to find ways to best utilize those players offensively. The big question for Ole Miss is, does this helmet communication help them? Can they find a way with what Lane says it is a cheat code on offense? Can he find a way to counteract that and utilize his just talented personnel on defense, but also the helmet communication over there to thwart other people's plans offensively? You know, if you've got a plan on offense, you got to know, hey, other people do as well with this helmet communication. How can you possibly counteract that based off the strengths and weaknesses that you know of it from yourself? So it's going to be a chess game. It's going to be exciting to watch. I'm excited to see it, and we're excited that you are tuned in right here with us on SEC Unfiltered, the best SEC entity on the internet. You can follow me on X using @BGilmer18. You can follow SEC Unfiltered using just that, @SEC Unfiltered, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, anywhere that you use social media. Type in @SEC Unfiltered, and that's where you can get all of our content. Also, SECUnfiltered.com for lots of written content and also links to our videos as well. But subscribe, like, turn on notifications right here on the YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate that. And we'll catch you guys next time to talk more Ole Miss football, more SEC football, and all things SEC right here on the best SEC entity on the internet, SEC Unfiltered.